Hello, and welcome to Food for Thought. I'm standing in front of Serious Texas BBQ on the north side of Durango. Today we're going to check out some barbecue, smoked meats, probably some of the best north of the Rio Grande. Come on, let's go check it out.
Hey John, how you doing?
Dan, how are you?
Pretty good.
Good
Welcome
to see you.
Serious
Ooh,
Texas,
can't shake, huh?
No handshakes.
No handshake. So what do you got going today?
Oh, we're just selling a little barbecue, trying to make a living. Doing a little brisket, a little pork loin,
Nice.
pork spare ribs, turkey breast.
Any of those sausages going?
Oh, got the elegant sausage. Always have to have that.
Cool.
And,
Can we come around and take a look?
Oh yeah, I want to show you the pits, show you what we got going on.
Excellent,
Come on
excellent.
back. Here we go. Well, this is what we're holding. This is our holding pit right now. We're not cooking on this pit, but everything that we cooked last night and this morning is holding on here to be served. We got our pork shoulders, brisket. These pits are Southern Pride pits, and they're on a rotisserie. Gas controls the heat, but they have a wood box in the back that provides the smoke.
Right.
Brings the smoke in, it sits in the pit, and then it evacuates it out and keeps it circulating.
So at one time, like for a normal evening, how many of the briskets do you usually cook?
Like 15. We sell about 15 briskets a day and about 16 pork shoulders a day. Probably like 8 or 9 turkey breasts.
Wow, that's considerable. So you got to do this a couple
25
times.
racks of ribs.
Wow. So you got to do this a couple times a day then.
Oh yeah, we cook early in the morning.
Right.
And then we cook in the afternoon, and then in the evening around 6 o'clock we put on meat to cook all night.
So everything's fresh.
Right.
Wow,
Right.
that's tremendous.
Not a lot left over in the morning.
So Dan, the stuff in here is cooking. The stuff in the other pit is just holding.
Just
right now?
holding.
Okay. Keep it at a temperature. Is
Right.
that-
Right.
Excellent.
You want to hold it at least about 155. The health department has rules. It's 140 to and up. They don't want it to go below 140. That'll never happen here. So this is the ribs we got cooking for tonight. We got about 9-10 racks cooking. Hopefully we'll sell them all tonight.
I bet you will.
Pretty sure.
So this is the secret to the smoky flavor and everything. This is how it works.
Well, sort of. The pit is the solution. Let me show you something.
Sure.
John. You'll just come around here.
Alrighty.
The secret to this good smoky flavor is right here in the smoke box of the pit, in these Southern Pride pits.
Nice.
Is we use a local oak. It's a gamble oak. It's what everybody around here calls a scrub oak.
Right. Right.
It's just like the oak in Texas. A little different species, but there's scrub oak in Texas that a lot of people like to smoke with. Put it in that firebox. The pit does the work, draws that smoke in, holds it, draws it back out, and exchanges it throughout the cooking period.
For one of these cooking periods where you start at 6 in the morning or something, how many logs do you have to put in?
It's real economical. It's about 3 logs, about that big around.
And that'll take care of it for that cooking
That'll
period.
take care of it for that period.
Wow, very nice.
And so we really don't go through just a ton of wood. If we were just using the wood for just the heat, we'd be burning up some wood.
Right, right. But this is gas powered with the wood for the smoke.
Right, right.
Nice, nice.
And works pretty good.
Okay.
But that's enough about that. Let's go eat.
About time.
All right, barbecue. Why don't you come up front here and I'll cut us up and make us a big 6.
That sounds like a good plan to me.
I think over there, John.
Right.
We won't make you work on the line.
Okay, I'm just going to eat it.
That's right. I kind of go just down this line, get a beef brisket. Brisket's real important to cut it correctly. The grain of the meat runs this way, and you want to cut it perpendicular to that. I don't care how good a cook they are, how good a barbecuer they are, you cut it the other way, it's tough and chewy. And on all our big 6s, you get a 1/4 pound of brisket. Look at there, 26 ounces. I'm pretty
Almost,
good at that.
yeah, almost like you knew what you were doing, right?
Then we do a 1/4 pound of smoked turkey. 2 sausage links
And these are the Elgin sausages, correct?
from Elgin, Texas, right? And then you do 3 ribs with a 1/4 pound of pulled pork. With chipotle mayo, pineapple jalapeno, really good with the pork.
Straight from Hawaii?
Straight from Hawaii. And then our newest creation, which is the cranberry habanero, which we're out of.
That's the one that's got a little bit more kick to it, huh?
Right. It'll make you sweat.
Okay.
Now you can go feast.
That's excellent. And you're going to get one too, right?
You bet.
Okay, we'll see you out there. After the break, Dan tells us about the history of Sirius, Texas, and I'll sample the Big Six. Welcome back to Food for Thought. We've seen how the meat is cooked. Now it's time to taste it.
Flip it around.
This looks great, Dan. Thanks so much.
Yeah, you're welcome, John.
You know, one of the things I was curious about, did you start the business?
I didn't start it. My little sister and brother-in-law, Cook Swanson and Joy Swanson.
Okay.
They started the business, and they started it in 1998 in a trailer. They would come up in the summertime from Pflugerville, Texas, had a concessionaire's trailer.
That's
and,
that red trailer that we used to see around.
Over at Wildcat Canyon.
Right,
At the,
right.
where the parking lot for the liquor store was.
Exactly.
They had it there, and they'd do it just in the summertime. Then in 2001, we got this property here and started a freestanding restaurant.
So when did you think you got the recipes right?
Well, Cookie knew he had the recipes right was when we were trying to perfect everything. Dell was opening up their first factory in Round Rock, Texas, right outside of Austin. And they let us put our trailer out there. And when we couldn't cook enough meat to feed those guys, we knew we had it right.
What's the difference between smoked and barbecue? Is there a difference? Or?
Well, in Texas, we call barbecue is anything that's smoked meat, low and slow. When you cook on your grill with charcoal, we call that grilling. And there's a big difference because when you're grilling, even though you can put wood chips and stuff, if you don't get smoke on it for a long extended period of time, you can't get a smoke ring, and you don't get that good smoky flavor, and that's the secret.
Well, you have a place here. This is on the north side of town. And you have a place on the south side of Durango.
Right.
And there's one in Farmington.
One in Farmington. We just opened our newest one in Bloomfield. It's been doing real well. We also have one in Loveland, Colorado, which was actually our 3rd store.
Okay.
And then we have one in Fort Collins also.
Wow. And where's Cookie?
He's mainly a consultant now.
Nice.
We have, there's 6 of us that are owners. 3 of us hang out here in Durango, and 2 up in Loveland, in Fort Collins, and 1 in Denver, who's kind of our silent partner.
Nice. So all this is different kinds of meat. Can you tell me just a little bit about this?
Right. The meats that we cook here are brisket, which is beef, and it's the main meat of Texans. They judge barbecue by your brisket. I think they didn't know you could smoke a pig for a long time. Really, you could, when I was a child in Texas, you never saw, it was beef only, beef ribs, and chicken. That was about all.
Really?
But recently, the influences from Carolinas coming up, the pulled pork has become real popular. You can get that now. So we do the beef brisket, we do smoked turkey breast, we do pulled pork, which are smoked pork shoulders, and pork spare ribs.
So what are these ribs right here? These
are pork spare ribs, and they cook from anywhere from 3 to 4 hours. The turkey breasts for 3 to 4 hours, just depends on how big they are.
Right.
And Those and our sausage we get from Elgin, Texas, which is a small town right outside of Austin. There's two main barbecue places in Elgin, Texas. One's called Southside Market, and the other one's called Myers. And Myers is known for their sausage, and I think they make the best sausage, and that's why we started. We have them ship it up here to us. It's a beef pork mix hot link.
Right. Right. What's interesting too are all the different sides here, because they're all different and all very tasty.
Right, and that's something that's kind of unique and kind of really doesn't make us serious Texas, because in Texas, barbecue sauce is meant to be an ancillary deal. A lot of barbecue places don't even offer sauce.
Really?
They're insulted if you ask for it. Wait, I don't know how to smoke meat. You know?
Wow, right.
This influence, the sauces really came, a big influence from Hawaii is where my brother-in-law Cookie learned the restaurant business.
Oh,
like
see.
the cherry chipotle salsa and the pineapple jalapeno salsa. Those were recipes he developed when he was in the restaurant in Hawaii, on Kauai.
Very nice, because I think it just adds so much to it.
Right, I mean,
if you want just the barbecue, that's what you have. You want a little something on top of that, just a little, get your attention. It's all very, very
right.
good.
And the chipotle mayo is really a New Mexico influence because of the chipotle peppers that are so prominent there, and cooking them, roasting them on the side of the road.
Right.
So.
Well, with all these locations, you're not just buying meat once a week. How much meat do you buy?
A lot, and we buy it on a yearly basis.
Oh, really?
We go and contract with the meat packing companies. There's a lot of our meats, we have them trimmed special for us. And they're perennial lows in the market, and we try to negotiate at those perennial lows.
Right. Well, if you're buying all that quantity, you probably have a little bit of say.
Right, and in the hundreds of thousands of pounds of meat, conservatively, at least 500,000 pounds of meat we buy a year. But you have to remember, in barbecue, when you cook a pork shoulder and we put it in the pit, it weighs 8 pounds.
Right.
When you're finished cooking, it might weigh 5.
Right. No, I understand.
So there's a big loss in moisture and in grease.
Right.
We do recycle our grease.
Okay.
That's one of the neatest things I found when we came here is we drain those pits.
Right.
And Valley Protein actually buys our grease.
Nice.
It's kind of neat.
Very good. So what else?
Don't tell anybody from Texas we're really green.
Yeah. Right. What's interesting too is when the Texans come up, they're used to having their hometown favorites.
Right.
How do they feel about your meats?
Well, one of the things that I found out early here is, when a Texan walks in, because they say, "Hi, I'm from Texas, and I'll tell you if this is serious Texas barbecue," which was kind of the reason why we named it that.
Very nice. Okay, I was wondering about that too.
I can honestly say that we don't ever have very many people leave here disappointed. We can't please everybody, but it's really kind of funny when we try to get them to use our sauces.
Right.
I don't want any of that,
Right.
But if you can get them to use it, I'd love to tell the story of the lady that came in. Got a pulled pork sandwich, tried to get her to eat the cherry chipotle with it. She says, "I don't like cherries." I said, "Well, I'm gonna put it on the side. I want you to try it. Let me know what you think." I said, "Because I don't think you'll be disappointed." Right. She bought 6 jars when she left.
But they weren't for her because she didn't like it, but her friend.
Yeah.
I'm looking around and I know you've won a couple of awards for your food. Can you tell us a little bit about those?
Right, we've been real lucky. When we first opened up, Sunset Magazine, we were voted one of the best in the West for barbecue places, which that West encompassed Colorado, Arizona, Utah, California. So we were really proud about that.
Right.
And
that's what that poster is over there, right?
Yeah. correct.
Okay.
And we also, Regis and Kelly TV show, which is now Regis and Michael, or not Regis and Michael, it's Kelly and Michael now. About 5 years ago, they had a summer grilling contest. We got voted and won the best pulled pork sandwich. And they flew me up to New York, and I made him a sandwich on TV for Kelly. Regis wasn't working that day. But it was a lot of fun and a big honor.
Oh,
big
sure,
honor.
sure.
That was a nationwide contest. And
Which one of the sauces of these four?
right now it's cherry chipotle and the chipotle mayo are the two most popular. But we just started with a new one, which is the cranberry habanero. And it's a little hotter. In fact, people say, well, how hot? And I said, well, it makes the top of my head sweat.
Well, I'm going to try it, so if you see a few beads on this noggin, you'll know
And
why.
I think it's going to take over. It's
Really?
really good. People seem to enjoy it when it has a little more kick to it. And I think that the cranberry, the tartness, with that heat, it's just a great balance. Talking like a chef now, and
It's
I
delicious,
have
though.
no formal training other than born in Texas.
Doesn't matter. Right? You don't need the chef. You don't need the training. I think what's important is if you like to eat, you like good food.
Right.
And that's all it is. When we come back, Dan shares some stories about Serious Texas barbecue. I'm sitting down for lunch with Dan Howell, one of the owners of Serious Texas Barbecue. How about you? You said you're not a chef. Where'd you come from?
I grew up in Beaumont, Texas, and everybody there smoked meat. Kind of just that's what you do. And I was actually, before I did this, I was in sports medicine for 30 years. I was an athletic trainer. I had a master's degree in exercise physiology. And I worked for a group of orthopedic surgeons, ran their sports medicine program. I taught at the local college, Lamar University, and ran a research lab there started it, and ran a sports medicine research lab. It's not barbecue. This is a lot easier.
So this is a second career, second life, and then you moved here, obviously.
Right. Oh yeah. We moved here in 2004.
Have you ever done any away games, so to speak? Did people ever want you to go somewhere different to try and cook?
We get a lot of requests for catering, and we've kind of resisted that. But 3 years ago, the CFO of Monte Carlo Casino made us an offer we couldn't refuse. They were sponsoring the bareback riders for the National Finals Rodeo in Vegas. And he has a home up here, and he had come through and eaten our barbecue. He thought it would be a big thing to have Texas barbecue in Vegas during the Finals Rodeo. And so we went up there and sold barbecue out of their parking lot. Took one of our trailers and kind of hammed it up a little bit. It was a lot of fun. And that was a 10-day thing.
Oh, I was going to say, that's...
Let me tell you, 10 days in Vegas is too long.
Yeah. Even if you're trying to make some money, huh?
Right,
Yeah.
right. But it was a lot of fun. It was, like I said, I'd been in sports medicine, and I'd done a lot of rodeos. I'd assisted the Justin Healers and stuff when I was in Texas as an athletic trainer. And so it was kind of fun because I got to reconnect with a lot of the cowboys that were in high school.
Oh, so
when
you
I
knew
was
some
in
people?
Texas.
Really?
Oh, yeah. It
Nice.
was a lot of fun.
So, any plans for any other stores, or you're not allowed to give that information
Well,
away?
you never say never, because when we first came here, we said we'd never be in Farmington, New Mexico. And Farmington has been a very good store to us. The people in the town really welcomed us with open arms. It's been a great investment.
Nice.
And
Every time I go by it, it's very busy.
Right.
In the afternoon for lunch, it seems to be.
It's done really, really well. And we just didn't see it. We didn't really understand the town and know the town. And it's an oil and gas town, and oil and gas is barbecue country.
Right,
So
right.
The rightest thing we did was come to Durango. And my brother-in-law, Cookie, and I and our families came through here in 1987 and thought this was the neatest place. And he said then, he says, I'm going to figure out how to make a living and we'll all move here. Of course, there was a lot of laughter going on.
Right,
and,
right.
Sure enough, it worked out.
Worked out for everybody.
Yeah.
Worked out for your crew. Worked out for Durango too, to have you guys up here.
Right.
This is great.
It's been a lot of fun. It's our workforce is mainly high school and college kids.
Right.
And without them, none of this would happen. And it's the greatest feeling in the world to be walking down the street and somebody say, "Hey, Sirius, Texas, we ate at your place. Your kids are so good there. Your employees. We have no problem finding good employees." And it's really a testament to Durango and really every place we go. It's kind of funny in Fort Collins and in Loveland, 2/3 of the employees are all from Durango. It's amazing.
Wow.
It's amazing.
So the reputation isn't just the food, it's the people that work here, right?
Right. I mean,
The whole ambiance.
we don't wait tables. We do counter service, and that's your interaction with the customers. And fortunately, there are periods of times where you have quite a line of people there.
Right,
You need to be able to kind of entertain them as they're waiting.
right, right. Entertain them while they're waiting and then get them through as quickly as you
Get
can.
them through in an expedient manner
Right.
without them feeling like you're shoving them.
That in itself is an art.
Right, right. When we first opened this thing up in wintertime, it was scary. Scary. There's 50% loss of business.
Oh.
I bet you that every business in Durango drops 50% for 6 months out of the year. And if they don't support you, the locals, and it took a little while, and they were really patient with us. They
Right.
were very good-natured about the Texas thing. Because, we're kind of in your face with this Texas thing, and we realize we're not in Texas anymore.
Right.
And without their support and them promoting us,
Right.
the best, you kind of ask about our advertising. The best advertising you can ever get is word of mouth. And people walking around downtown, which we're not in a downtown location at either store, we get a lot of referrals, and people tell us, said, "Oh, I was riding the T, and the driver, we drove past you, and the driver said we had to come and eat there."
Hey Dan, thank you so much.
Oh, you're
very
fine.
Interesting, but more than that, it was very delicious.
Yeah, glad you enjoyed it.
Yeah, we come. My family and I come at least once a week, either to
great.
this one or the one down south.
Right, if you can make it twice a week, I still got a child in college.
Thanks so much.
You're welcome.
Well, that was fun. Talking with Dan, we really learned a little bit about what real Texas barbecue is, or serious Texas barbecue is. Hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. See you next time. You can watch Food for Thought anytime on DurangoTV.com.
Food for Thought is brought to you in part by Durango Party Rental. We put it all together perfectly. And M Leader Construction, involved in the community since 1987.